Aries, while I was connecting to your energy for the month of September, I saw the image of a newborn baby. And what this really felt like to me was a fresh start, a new beginning, a new life, if you will. It is possible for some of you there is something involving children or pregnancy this month. There could be some good news for those of you who are interested in that. But I really feel like for the majority of you, this is actually representing the birth of a creation or creating something and putting it out into the world. This actually makes a lot of sense because we have had Venus, the planet of art, love, and beauty, retrograde in the sign of Leo throughout all of August. Leo for you represents children, but it also represents creativity and romance. And so you might have been reconsidering or rethinking these areas of your life quite intensively. And now, with Venus going direct on September 3rd, maybe there is something new that is being born in these areas of your life. Overall, however, September is very focused on your health, your routines, and wellness, particularly with us being in Virgo season, and Mercury also being retrograde in Virgo until the 14th. So this is a really good month to commit to new habits, new ways of being, and just restructuring your day-to-day life, particularly around the 14th when we have the new moon in Virgo, as well as Mercury going direct or moving forward once again. I have just a touch of housekeeping before we get too far in today's video. We are in Virgo season after all. For those of you who are returning to this channel, it's great to see you again. Welcome back. I'm actually uploading a lot more on my other social media accounts, and honestly, by my own admission, I've been pretty vacant online for a while. A big irony of my life is I'm actually not a huge social media person at all. It's just been a wonderful vehicle to do this work, and I would really appreciate anyone who is on these other platforms to also follow me on there as well. I'm actually really enjoying the shorter format. It feels more engaging and it helps me put out information more quickly. So definitely consider following me there. You can find all of my links for social media accounts in the description of this video, alongside links for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. For those of you who are new to this channel, hello, welcome. My name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. So the two cards I pulled for you so far, Aries, are very interesting because we have the Hanged Man and the Judgment card. Now, when I saw this combination together, what this really felt like was this breaking point where it was like many of you are at this place where you realize you've been stuck for too long, or you've been in one place or situation for too long. There's been just some sort of mental block. And there is now this call to action, this call to change something. There could also be a major perspective shift that you have recently undergone. And, you know, this perspective shift has caused you to really reevaluate the way you are looking at your life overall. I'm actually curious to see what particularly this could be about, but it just feels like something maybe in the past month or so, Aries, has really radically changed your perspective in some way. What is the Judgment and Hanged One doing here? Show us clearly, please. Interesting. So we have the Three of Swords with the King of Swords. So for some of you, this could be catalyzed by some sort of heartache or some sort of emotional pain. Maybe some of you have just been suffering for too long, or maybe you've been in a relationship that has not been serving you, or maybe you've been grieving something with the Three of Swords. And the King of Swords here is interesting because maybe this was involving an air sign. Could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Sorry to blank out on you for a moment there. But I really do see this also as you almost like, again, it's like I'm saying, like you've just realized you've been suffering for too long, or you need to get out of your emotions, and you are now making logical steps or very direct action in your life. To be honest, it feels like some of you might have been in a victimhood mentality. That's kind of how I see this, interestingly enough. And you are now becoming an advocate for yourself. You're learning to speak up for yourself more. And there's been a tremendous amount of healing that has come from this with the star. And I'm really not surprised to see like heartache potentially here, because we have had Venus retrograde in your 5th house of romance, creativity, also children. But I think in this case, maybe there was a relationship that ended for some of you, or maybe there were some relationship patterns that were highlighted. For others of you, this could just be something about emotions, or, the way you've been living your life, and like needing to take better care of your emotional state or your heart with the 3 of Swords. And I feel like you are almost becoming very logical in dealing with them. And sometimes when you're in a very emotional state, you kind of do have to force yourself a little bit just to do things that are good for you, that will help you feel better, even if you don't feel like it in the time. You could have recently had to kind of will yourself out of a depression or heartache. But again, there's a lot of healing that has come from this with the star. And it's interesting to see the stork in the background as well. Again, this kind of energy of a new beginning, a new creation. Some of you are really realizing that you can't wait anymore when it comes to creating something, when it comes to following your passions. There was almost like this moment that shook you awake, and you realized that life is temporary, life is limited, and you want to spend your life making something that matters to you. And there is this sense of purpose that comes with that, with the star. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below, like, what is this shift? What catalyzed it, and what is it inspiring you to do now? Because I feel like you are very inspired to do something this month, Aries, or that is something that you have gained from the past. We have the High Priestess as well, trusting your intuition, becoming more present with yourself, with your spirit. And the 10 of Cups. Wow. I feel like some of you are getting downloads of your future life. Maybe you're dreaming of your future life. That's actually something I just heard, dream. You could be having like a dream of your future self, and that's something that's very inspiring to you. Maybe you're just envisioning it here as well. And you guys, I'm so sorry about the lighting. I've really been struggling. This ring light has actually been going on and off. So my apologies if there's any interruptions there. Mercury is still retrograde after all. But I think for you, you're really making time to meditate. And giving yourself space to have a spiritual practice. That is something that's very important for your fulfillment. And it's also something that is overflowing into other people's lives. When you take care of yourself in this way, Aries, there is just this light, this sparkle that you have. And it does have a subtle effect on the people around you. That's what I'm really getting here. And I mean, with all of this focus on health and routines, it's very likely that for this group in particular, that involves a meditation practice. Maybe it also involves some sort of mindful exercise like yoga or even rock climbing. Something that still engages the body, but is a very thoughtful form of movement. I'm just getting that as well. I feel like overall, there's a lot of focus on cultivating your happiness and your spirituality. I just feel like you're a lot happier. And this happiness is the direct result of changes you are making to your life. The Fool. Again, new beginning, new lease on life energy. This is really that newborn energy. And, even though this card is traditionally associated with the planet Uranus, which is the Great Awakener, it's this catalyst energy, I always think of Aries energy with the Fool as well. So in some way, this feels like you are being renewed. And I feel like your intuition is trying to tell you to take a leap of faith. There might also be something astrologically for you that is guiding you with the star. I feel like for some of you, there's actually a relationship that is going to the next level. Maybe some of you are moving in together. Maybe some of you are getting married. Maybe some of you are talking about children or the future. It feels like there could potentially be another person that you are planning a new life with. And I mean, with Libra season coming up at the end of September and full moon in Libra, I want to say that is the 29th of September. There could be some sort of change or climax or peak in energy, particularly in your partnerships or relationships. There might be a new person coming into your life as well who has a lot of potential for you, especially those of you who did go through a breakup. And the Page of Swords. I feel like you're learning a lot this month. What is Aries learning about? Why is the Page of Swords here? Interesting. This Knight of Wands just fell out of the bottom of the deck. And oftentimes when I think of the Knight of Wands, it's like loving what you're doing, loving the process, following your passion, and you're not afraid to scrape your knees. You might fall a few times as you're learning new skills or growing in your craft, but you're still enjoying it. Oops. Sorry, let's try that again. Show us clearly, Spirit. Why is the Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands here? The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you are really hard at work on something, and I think that makes sense with Virgo energy. Whatever it is you are working on in the month of September, it does feel like it will pay off in the long run for you. Particularly if you are starting a project or learning something around September 14th or 15th, that is just a really powerful time to begin a new practice. And I feel like it's also really important for those of you who are creative that you are doing your craft every single day, even if it's just a short amount of time, because that's going to help you grow and improve tremendously. It's also going to help you be more successful and get more recognition. Yeah, I feel like there's just something about a daily practice. That's something that's really important here. And that could also apply to things like meditation as well. I was pulling that earlier for you. So there could be like a daily meditation practice, but I actually feel like there is a daily creative practice for many of you as well, or just some sort of craft or some sort of skill that you have. It's important that you're doing this every day, that you are practicing something every single day, because it will pay off and it will grow into something. What else? Wow, the Empress. Yeah, there really could be a lot of abundance. And the Knight of Cups. I mean, double whammy right here, honestly, because both of these cards can speak of romance, it can speak of beauty, but I really do feel like you are just naturally flowing or going in the direction of what you love, and that is bringing you a lot of abundance. I feel like there's just this greater sense of ease overall, and maybe for some of you as well, this is kind of a combined message where by doing what you love, you are naturally crossing paths with someone who is a important partner or friendship, or friend, I should say. It could be helping you connect with someone who's very, very important to you, a soulmate, if you will. And I'm feeling like you are going to be harvesting something, looking at this Empress, looking at this sickle. And I feel like it will literally be in 6 months' time. We do have the new moon in Virgo on the 14th of September, and then we will have a full moon in Virgo next year in Pisces season, which is the Knight of Cups energy. So there could be something that's full circle during this time. That could be a deadline of some kind. That could be something very exciting happening. Whatever it is that you are building or working towards in your life, there is going to be a peak during this time as well. So maybe save this video, come back to it. But yeah. I feel like consistency is very key for you this month and in the next several months, Aries. But this is a good time to commit to new habits, to new routines, especially if you have a hard time sticking to habits. Any other messages for Aries? Any other messages for Aries? Any animal messages? We have the eagle. Very interesting. So those of you who have Capricorn placements might want to watch that video as well. Actually kind of similar energy because there was a lot of focus on craft and this card came out for them. But definitely a different twist on things too. The eagle I really think of as taking control of your destiny. It is about grabbing the sun in your talons, taking flight, and really just going after what it is that you want. You do need to get out of your comfort zone. That's actually something I think is going to be kind of thematic. I mean, it's just been thematic, but I think it seems like September is a month where that's a very important thing. Don't let imposter syndrome get in the way. And again, like if you are a writer, definitely do your writing each day. If you're a painter, paint each day. If you're a sculptor, sculpt each day. That will help you feel more valid in your craft. That will help you feel like a true artist or whatever your skill is. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's doing readings. Whatever this is, it's important that you go into something that kind of feels a little uncomfortable for you, to lean into that more. And maybe that's why you need to take this action. Maybe some of you have been stuck with the Hanged One and the Judgment card, and you're realizing that this is actually a way that you are just holding yourself back because you're waiting for this confidence, when the truth is you build confidence by practicing something or by trying something, being vulnerable. It requires effort. It requires action in order to gain confidence. Otherwise, it's just narcissism. So I think you are gaining confidence in something, and it feels like a very, very powerful month for you. Are there any final messages or any other messages for Aries? Any other messages? Any other blessings? What is the blessing for Aries? What is the blessing for Aries? Calendula, which is brighten. This energy is just about brightening your life, and it is just this radiant energy. I really feel like you are just feeling lighter and brighter. I'm actually going to read from the booklet here. Calendula is associated with the oracle property brighten. It's a plant that speak of summer ease, sunshine, good times, and the blessed moments in life. Seeing this card is like a little bit of sunshine falling on your day, project, or relationship. Take it at face value and let yourself enjoy the simple goodness of life. Much like the Sun card in the tarot deck, this is not a plant that has much depth. While it is very easily grown, it can endure cold, excessive heat, or adverse conditions. If you were to see this card in a friendship or love reading, it might mean that the happiness and good times are in store, but they could be temporary and perhaps somewhat superficial. The phrase fair weather friend might be an apt way to think about this card when it shows up in a relationship context. While some element of warning might be implied, in general, this card is a very happy one. Calendula is a sunny plant that brightens, soothes, and heals, and it's okay to accept it as one of nature's blessings. Every phase of life is a journey that requires grace. The grace to persevere in the face of adversity, but also, maybe even more importantly, the grace to embrace the moments of ease and abundance. And, I opened the book and I kind of remembered like, shit, there's that one line about this, that fair weather friend line that honestly can kind of be distracting in a reading. But when I was actually reading this and talking about how this plant doesn't endure extreme conditions very well, I was getting that flashback of the baby that I saw at the very beginning. And it's like literally tending to something like it is a baby, protecting something that might be fragile so it can grow. That is more how I am seeing that part of this card, because overall I feel like there's just this beautiful brightening energy. I know this card is used as like an antiseptic and it can heal wounds as well. And I think it's also used as a dye. I could be wrong. People in the comment section down below let me know if calendula is used as a dye. But I do think this is just a summertime plant as well, even though we are technically at the very end of summer, at least in the northern hemisphere. I feel like there is just this one last ray of sunshine that is shining down on your life. So I really hope that you enjoy that, Aries. This feels like a beautiful thing. And this was the blessing. Things are just becoming brighter. And there is also something that you are taking care of so that it can grow and become nurtured. And it's just about enjoying your life more. That is the blessing that you are receiving in the month of September. Anyways, those are all the messages I have for you, Aries. I do hope that this was helpful. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far. You can find all of my links in the description of this video for personal readings, distance Reiki sessions, as well as all of my other social media accounts. And I will see you all next time. Take care, Aries, and have a happy and blessed September.